About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And a year ago when he was drafted, it felt like central casting. Bo Nix coming to the NFL ready to roll, and he surpassed all expectations a season ago and threw for nearly 30 touchdown passes as a rookie. Fell just short with 29, but a huge piece of his team's future.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Nix from the shotgun. He will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
That's good for a Denver Broncos.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On the sneak, it's Nix. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop it right where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So the Raiders backed up here to begin their first drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now Geno. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards for number 11.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here. And they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dowdens. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
To throw, here's Nix. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
So anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Nix to the air. And the Raiders have got him. And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That too.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
Smith going to try and run with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
And a Las Vegas 1st down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. But he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Geno. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Smith. They'll get this out to Genty. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Raiders.
So you think it's not tough playing quarterback in the NFL? How about what we just saw there? The rush got home on third down. He had to stand in there and take the shot as he released it. Throws on target, though, and it's good enough to keep the drive moving.
Now Smith. And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He's going to try and take off with it. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. From the gun, here's Smith. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, really a fantastic play, not only to pick that off, but he had to run a long way, Charles, in the direction to hit pay dirt. He did it, and they've got the first lead.
And that certainly changes the early tone of this game, doesn't it, partner? One moment, they were going to be in early control. Now they just have a few moments to clear their heads and get back out there against an electrified defense.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos.
Makes the score Broncos 7.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The drive will begin with a run by Genty. Now he's able to break to one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Smith. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. Start the drive. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Under pressure, and down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. The backup Stidham, his first throw. Setting up a screen for Harvey. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Got to give their offensive coordinator credit there. He got right into the head of the defensive coordinator because right on the heels of the sack on 2nd down, he figured they were going to come at him hard again. And so he went ahead and hit a brilliant call. Screen pass works well enough. They're able to pick up a 1st down. That's one way to keep that defense at bay.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
That's good for a Denver Broncos. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. Fights off the defender. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now 2nd and 5. Again, it's Harvey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He couldn't.
Stidham hit, and he lost it. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now here come the Raiders. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Genty. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Raider 1st down.
And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the boots right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
Short throw caught by Bowers. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Gino going to hand it to Genty. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
First down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss.
2nd and 11 at the Broncos' 44-yard line.
2nd and 11 now. Thornton, the motion man right. Smith now to throw. Completes this one to Thornton. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 30. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Las Vegas.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this 2nd quarter. They're moving it pretty good. And that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he stopped immediately there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Not to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now it's Smith. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
A give out of the gun to Genty. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Here's Smith. Open man is Tucker. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And that is incomplete. We're following the play here. Now we've got an injury. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room, maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Play action with Stidham. Over the middle, it's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's a gain of 7.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 3. Up the middle, it's Harvey. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 3. Now it's Stidham. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he will have the Broncos first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
That's good for a Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From midfield now, here's Stidham. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
The Raiders' 45-yard line.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Stidham. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half.
Another Denver Broncos.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, we thank you as always, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out with the victory. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Looking to put a drive together. On first down, it's Genty. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
First down, Raiders.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it's second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
To throw is Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. That's caught by Tucker. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Up the middle, it's Genty. Well, he gave one defender the slip, but others waiting in the wings and dropping him behind the line. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
That's caught by Tucker. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Stidham. A quick hitter complete. It's Harvey. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Out of the gun, they go with Harvey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackled there by Caillou Blue Kelly. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Here's Stidham. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Max Crosby able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one.
Fair catch. Signaled for.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense. Looking to put a drive together. On the zone read, give to Genty. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Right back to Genty on 1st down. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
He's brought down at the
65 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
A gain of
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 1st downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Got his man, it's Thornton. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Broncos' 43-yard line.
Now Smith. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Las Vegas.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
A run out of the gun with Genty. Taken down at the 30.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
2nd down and 6 now. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Open man right side, Myers. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
And the Raider 1st down.
He finds his man, complete. It's Tucker. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Second and 12.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. Smith. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is third down and 12. Now Smith. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to break our fourth quarter tie. Carlson able to put this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Oh, look at the juke. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Broncos about set to go on offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 25, here's second down and 8. Stidham from the shotgun. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Stidham on a sneak. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give up the middle to Dobbins. Oh, good move. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job And then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
That's good.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
So they'll try to move the ball closer here on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. Stidham. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out come the Raiders. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Looking to put a drive together. Open man is Myers. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
Smith. Short throw, caught by Bowers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And the Las Vegas first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bonito, his 2nd sack of the night.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. action. It's Smith. Under pressure, they got him again. Nick Bonito bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Smith. And he's going to go down again. Nick Bonito. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Looking to put a drive together. Here's Stidham to throw. He'll get that complete to Franklin. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at their 49-yard line.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Stidham on the sneak. And he will have the Broncos 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. This time Stidham will throw. That's taken in by Franklin. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 4. Stidham. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line.
And the Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Stidham. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
Stidham to throw it. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
At the 3-yard line.
Dobbins will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Second down, goal to go. Time with Dobbins. And this time he is in. J.K. Dobbins. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Broncos have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here is Geno Smith and the Raiders. Down 20 to 13, a minute 14 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Smith to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Smith's going to throw it. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Well, I'm no coach, but there's just not time right now for throws that short.
Yeah, sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. As Coach Madden liked to say, sometimes you have to take what you want.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Gets this to Myers. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Well, this offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here first down. It's Myers again with another catch. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
13 yards. First down, Raiders.
That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles, and that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.